Hmm.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Honey, Let's Heal. We're all here again to tackle another topic. Let's jump right into it, Tosh.
Okay,
What you got for us?
let's go.
I love that you look away.
Like you're cheating or
Yeah.
something. Oh,
Goober.
funny. Stop it. This is freaking hilarious. Are you
What?
gonna guess?
Oh my God, I have goosebumps and I want to cry.
Same. Are you gonna guess?
Is it
Because
the
we
masculine feminine? Oh, of course it is.
That's
Of
freaking
course it is.
hilarious.
That's
Okay.
so funny.
All right.
Humana humana. This is gonna be a loaded
I
one.
was just gonna say I'm gonna go burn some more things.
That's a good idea. Oh, some incense. Yeah, I should have done that. I got
Round
sage
two.
behind me. Okay, is it specifically masculine and feminine roles? Is that what it had roles on there?
Let me see. So-
Can you hold it up to the camera so I can get like a good thumbnail for YouTube? Did you lose it
Yes, when I
already?
probably. Oh, what? Hold on.
Here we go. Okay, yep, masculine and feminine roles. Cute. Well, let's start with our area of expertise. Let's start with feminine roles.
Yes.
Um, let's just start by talking about like our favorite feminine roles. What makes you feel the most feminine?
Mm. Gosh.
Should I start?
Yeah, if you have something, you're
For
asking a
me,
most masculine person that I know. You're asking me to
that's
answer a
so funny.
question about femininity. I'm very
I know, that's
confused.
why I
My
was
whole
like,
body is freaking out. She's like, "You don't even know, Natasha. What's that?
That's
yeah,
not true.
I have a
We are all
vagina."
very
So
we are
I
all
mean,
very masculine, but we are also very feminine. We all
yes.
have both. My favorite feminine role is what we're doing right now, is
Mm,
sisterhood, heart-centered connection, soul-led conversations. I can't do anything else. I can't do surface level. It's a skill I need to acquire, right? Because I would like to be able to like be pleasant around people and not be a stinker butt about the fact that they just want to talk about the weather. Like, that's
hmm
fine, right? Like, why am I being a brat about it? Connecting with women, holding space for women. Um, and my favorite part is like pouring love in people, but like amping people up or like cheerleading essentially. Like,
hmm
um, when I was at the daycare, I had a coworker and she was young and so sweet, so feminine. And I'm like, okay, Mandy, take all of these codes that she is giving you, receive her femininity and learn from her. One of the things Kara said in our first group podcast, she said she was a student of life. And I was like, yeah, because I feel like we all do that, right? Like
hmm
you can learn from anyone and anything if you have the eyes to see and if you can open your heart to receive, right? Um, and anytime I would like give her a compliment, the way she lit up, the way her body changed, I was like, holy crap. I was like, this is the power we have when we connect with each other. Like, she blossomed so much when when it was just the two of us. Like, when our room shifted and I took over, she stepped up and she became a completely different person than she was before. And it's because she had the freedom and the support and like I felt like she trusted me differently than she trusted the previous person in our room. And it was just, gosh, the gift that that gave me, like I actually can't even put it into words what that did for me. Like it was such a
hmm
healing moment. Um, but like also like the feminine, like my favorite part about being a woman is connecting with kids or caring for kids, like the way that they are just a ball of unconditional love. And they're so curious and they're so playful and it's the best energy. It's my favorite thing about being a human is like being silly with a bunch of little toddlers.
hmm
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off of yours because when definitely like doing things with other women is definitely like helps me tap into that feminine piece. And the jobs that I have are more of the helper jobs, which I think is that more feminine avenue of things too. And then being
Mm,
a mom
yeah.
makes me feel feminine, even though I'm a mom to boys and we're wrestling around. It's that like being able to make meals for my family makes
Ooh,
me
yep.
feel feminine too.
Yep.
Like I get to create this thing that's providing nourishment and a basic need for my family. And then I think another way that I feel feminine is when my husband and I are in balance, like we have been the last several-ish couple
Mm,
months,
yeah.
where when he can shift into that masculine role piece more, then I feel like I can.
Yep.
So that having like a good, like a solid, more energetically balanced relationship with my husband makes me
Mm,
feel more feminine. And then being able to be a mom, definitely.
yeah.
And even though they're rough.
Well, well, like you said, like if he's in your masculine, that allows you to then soften and rest in your feminine because he's handling things. He's leading in the physical, like they're built to
Yes.
do, right?
Yes. I think
That
that's
feels so
something we've
good.
talked about a lot too, because
Mm,
we've had these conversations before about the challenges of when it's flipped and
yeah.
what that's like, and the emotions that come with trying to navigate through that. And now that it's again that that's child abuse, Kara. We seen that. I am calling
It was just a
APS.
pillow. They won't
I'm
stop.
calling
Just a pill.
APS on you.
That's so funny. We can't hear them, but can you show us? Are they fighting like little
Well, not now
rascals?
because I tossed a pillow.
They're done.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, mom said chill out.
Yeah, like that lady's talking about how nice it is to be a mom, and my mom's trying to throw shit at us. They're like, I'm gonna go live with her.
Cute.
Sorry, I won't. I thought you guys could hear it, so I'll just let
No,
them.
we can't.
No.
But we
Okay.
see you though, girl. We see that.
Oh, I love it.
uh, but like, because we've had conversations privately about it
Right.
before too, and just being able to get to regain that the teeter totter and like to be sitting at the or having the scales balanced
Yeah.
can definitely help tap into that femininity piece for sure.
Yeah. Well, when I think, well, like when I look at our society and how many women have been forced to be masculine,
Mm-hmm.
and then the men feel disenfranchised, right? Because their masculinity isn't being received. That's a big problem.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. And it creates this thought process that maybe men aren't needed to be masculine. But then I
Hmm.
do think that's why we have these rates of violence too, is because
Yeah.
we're how do I say it? I'm just going to say it's going to sound kind of shitty either
Just
way,
say
so it's
it.
not going to
Yeah. Yeah.
matter. When people aren't allowed to exhibit physical strength or
Mhm.
assertiveness or protection without legal ramifications, they're not going to stick up or stand up for um, the person that needs help. You know, because think of all these videos and things that we see of like men yelling at women or women, you know, and people just watching.
Yeah.
Sometimes that grown man, he has been, and not just a grown man, but like people have been allowed to be aggressive to people with no repercussions. Sometimes you need a punch to the mouth to be like,
Agreed.
okay, I can't do that. Like there's this
Agreed.
really, really awesome video that's been around. It's a dad is at an airport with his two daughters, and there was another man that was like bothering them,
Mm.
harassing them. And the dad turned around and he was like, say that to me. Like you don't, and he was getting after this other strange guy. But when people just ignore them, just turn your back, it's going to continue. And it's like, so when men aren't allowed to be masculine or be the protector and provider because they're afraid that they're going to get, you know, um, arrested for something, charged, what's the, harassment, sometimes I'm like, they said something you didn't like you can get arrested for saying something that they didn't like. And I'm thinking of like adult men too, right? Like I'm
Right,
not talking about
right.
like a man perpetrating upon a woman, but when men stand up for themselves and other people against other men,
Yeah,
then I think we're creating a different balance and we are increasing that man's ability to feel like they can protect and provide.
yeah,
But we're also showing the man who is perpetrating that that behavior will not be tolerated by anybody
oh,
and that there will be a man to help like balance that situation. You don't just
yeah.
get to badger and
Keep
badger.
keep shit in check. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. I mean, I know we're like naturally drawn to really masculine men. Like you're a huge Andy Frisella
Yeah.
fan, right? Like so
Definitely.
masculine. And like my favorite part about masculine men is that they do keep each other in check. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's their role, right?
Yep.
Their role is to keep each other in check. Like, I feel like sisterhood is coming back online on this planet very strongly. Like, shout out to all the women leaders out there that are like stepping
Mm-hmm.
into your power and sharing your truths and giving the rest of us the inspiration to do it for ourselves because we need that
Mm-hmm.
so deeply right now. Um, but there's also all these incredible men out there right now that are building brotherhood back, and we
Yes.
need that so
Mm-hmm.
deeply on all levels. Um, because that's how men grow, right? Like iron sharpens iron. They
Yeah.
learn from each other and they learn in a different way than women learn. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something that we don't take into consideration in this society. And it really bothers me.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I think a
Mm.
lot of men, and we might be shifting too far off. Um, we can shift back to the feminine masculine part too, but there are so many men again that aren't. We've created the society where they're always wrong. That
Uh-huh.
everything that they do is wrong or bad.
Toxic.
Yep.
Yep.
So being too into physical fitness means it's ego, or
Mhm.
wanting too much money is you're arrogant. Where how do you accelerate or grow or create a better world for those around you if you aren't tapping into that primal piece of you? Because then we're
Yeah.
trying to strip them away because we want a protector, we want a provider, but you can't be too loud, you can't be, you can't be too strong, you can't make
Right.
too much money. So it's very confusing as to like what do we want them to do, what do women want men to do for them,
Mm.
or what are they expecting from them but then not allowing them to do because it's too much.
Mm.
And maybe I steered too far off,
No,
or maybe
nope,
that's the
not at all.
topic for another, maybe that's another little carb to add to the jar, but yeah.
Yeah. We have strayed so far from our natural blueprint, from our
Mm-hmm.
natural energetic expression. We've been brainwashed, mind controlled, whatever you want to call it. We've really lost ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in the last 6 years-ish, there's been a huge shift in everybody. I guess maybe not everybody, but like I see a huge shift when I think back to COVID in 2020 and the things that I was learning and getting into. I was, having a deeper level of a spiritual awakening than I had had previously, and I was, searching out all the spiritual stuff. I was doing the declassified CIA document thing, like I was really trying to figure out what the heck is actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of people that are talking about energy and spirituality and topics like this, there's a insane amount of people now compared to back then. And that's only a 6 year span. So
Mm-hmm.
I get really excited about us moving forward because it's only gonna increase, right? We're all going through this awakening process together collectively. And we're all here to help each other, right? Like we're all a necessary piece of the puzzle. We all have our own specific medicine that we're bringing to the table. And how can we do that if we don't even let ourselves be our authentic selves and fulfill those feminine roles or those masculine roles, depending on who we are and where we are and what, you know?
Mm-hmm. Kara, I said you had a couple little smirks and smiles. What
Oh,
notes?
well,
What
you
you
know
got,
me.
girl?
My face just always seems to say what I'm thinking. But we were talking earlier about, what do we enjoy about being feminine, or, how do we bring femininity to the
Mm.
table? And one thing that we haven't touched on yet is intuition.
Mm.
Ooh,
I think that's like one of the things that for me makes me feel like a woman. Like
Yeah.
agreed.
that
Agreed.
knowing, being able to be creative, like Natasha was saying, whether it's making supper for my family or
Mm-hmm.
building a quilt here in my sewing area.
Aw,
Um,
yeah.
and mothering, man, there's just something about
Mm.
it. And it doesn't have to be a human, it can be anything. But I'm a
Yeah.
huge
Nurturing.
mama bear. Like
Right.
Yep.
I puff up when someone hurts my cubs.
Yeah.
Or my sisters. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are something that I just wanted to bring to the table.
Thank you for doing that because I feel like
Mhm.
intuition is the seat of femininity. Like
That's
it's,
Yes.
exactly where I was going to roll back to. Also, Mandy, I was like, we got to circle back to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I agree. Women are built with a stronger intuition, right? Because like the feminine principle is the feeling, the intuition, the energy, and then the masculine principle is the logic, the reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I feel like because men have been so cut off from their emotional body and taught that they're weak if they are emotional or have emotions or show emotion or they're gay. Like I love listening to comedians because they always like anytime they're emotional or like giving love to something, they're like, oh, I gotta stop being so gay. And it's funny, but it's like brutal at the same time where it's like, man, if you could just soften a little bit and see that that's a power and not,
It's not a weakness because
mm-mm.
there's so much power when people can balance those two sides too. And just
Yes.
going back to what Kara said about intuition, it made me think of our partnerships
Mm,
too. And to think about how you get to tap into your intuition more when you're accepted by the people around you. And that intuition piece is nurtured. Because I think of like, Carrie, you've talked about your partner before being very like open, understanding, like, let's try this out. My husband's the same. I feel like yours might be more like, I'm fucking down to try it. And mine's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
well, that's cool. I hope you have fun. But it's still like allowing the space for that, right? Because if we're not nurtured in that by our partners, if our partners are male or female, but I think when we have a male partner or a more masculine partner that can encourage and support that piece, that allows us, kind of like Mandy was saying too, like when then we can fall into what we want to. We're not trying to hide something or we're not trying to shut something down. We get to tap into that because we're encouraged and supported by like it doesn't have to just be intimate partners, but I think more intimate partners. And we get to do that on that different level than it is just with like our girlfriends, because our girlfriends are always, let's fucking go, like let's do it. Where when your partner is also encouraging, even if they don't understand or get it,
Mm,
that's just a whole fucking, that's new level game changer. There's something different about that versus like a friendship that is accepting of it. So I wanted to
totally.
roll that back to what Kara had said about, because that's what it kind of prompted me to.
Yeah. Well, when I think about masculine roles, what their biggest role is containment, right? But where they go wrong a lot of times is they want to limit. It's like, I don't want you to limit me. I want you to contain it. You don't have to tell me what's
Mm.
wrong or right. You have to let me go where I need to go and feel what I need to feel. I just need you to be the like the anchor point. You need to be the steady, uh, I don't know. Go.
But for our male listeners, Mandy, explain limit versus containment because they might not like I could picture some being like, the fuck is she talking about?
Yeah.
Instead of
Yes.
limiting us, what does limiting look like and what does containment look like?
Yes. So limiting would look like making certain emotions wrong, making certain reactions wrong, um, dimming your light, trying to keep you from being your full self. I've had this in relationships. Um, I'm a wordsmith, right? Like you have to be as a stand-up comedian, like that's the whole art form. And I dated a narcissist. I mean, we've all been there, right? And he would like when I would say certain things, he would try to shut me down. And that was like my cue to like skedaddle. Like, nope,
Mm,
you're not gonna limit what comes out of my mouth. And that comes back to like childhood. Like my dad would try to do that too. Like we'd be out for supper with family and everyone would be drinking. I wouldn't be drinking and I would say something and he would look at me like, I can't believe you just said that. Like, are you drunk? And I'm
mm,
like, I'm not drunk. This is me. This is how I talk. Like,
mm,
why aren't we being authentic? Why are we being fake? Um, so, and limiting can look other ways too, right? Like if they don't want you to dress a certain way, or
mm.
if they think my brain goes back to the recent season of Love is Blind, where there's this dude who like he's with a beautiful woman, but he's coming at it from ego, and he like broke up with her because she wasn't someone who worked out every day.
Oh,
Yeah. And he was just a hot mess, express.
yeah.
So, but like also limiting, I think a lot of men in our society think that women should be masculine. Like go work out every day. That's a
Mm,
masculine thing. Like workouts for women every day look different because our hormones are different every day. Men
yep.
can go and do the same workout every day or the same intensity level because they're
Right.
on a 24-hour hormone clock.
Yep.
Um, so I always feel like so disgusted or offended when men are expecting women to act like men.
Hmm.
Um, expecting a woman to hold down a 9 to 5. I could never
Mm,
do that. I have forced myself so hard so many times to try to fit in that box, and I cannot do
hmm.
it for so many reasons. And I mean, in this economy right now, like a lot of us need to have two incomes to survive,
Hmm.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's a bummer that it is that way. And
Hmm.
and that forces women more into their masculine, right? Because they have to show up and they have to solve all these problems and they have to do X, Y, and Z, and they have to do it no matter how they feel, right? Because it has
Yeah.
to get
Yep.
done.
Yeah.
And that's limiting us because it's forcing us to come out of our nature.
Yep.
And like, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of women who being very masculine is their primary nature, right? Like we
Hmm.
all have both masculine and feminine and they all express differently and it's going to depend on our environment. But um our duty as individuals is to figure out what feels best to us and what is most authentic to us in our expression.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think if there's any other, can you guys think of any other limiting, like the ways that the masculine limits the feminine, or should I go into
I'd go into
containment?
containment. Yeah.
Okay.
So then they can kind of see, like, well, if I want to nurture my partner, but I'm doing these things, like, what's going to be my counterbalance? Or
Mm-hmm.
then they can be reinforced. Well, I am holding space for her. Like, I am using
Yes.
containment, but maybe these would be some areas where I have been limiting. So, yeah, just
Yeah.
a couple little quick snippets of containment.
Containment is being the container, right? So you're her anchor point so that she can go into her intuition, she can go into her emotional body, she can have all the feelings, she can receive all the downloads from source and her higher power or nature, right? Like this happens in multiple different ways. Um, and you don't judge it and you don't make it right or
Mm-hmm.
wrong. You just you receive it, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
men have to realize that they also receive, they don't just give. And it's in these weird ways that they might not even recognize is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for me, I just see containment as like an anchor so that she can like go out and feel all the feelings or get all the information, whatever's happening. Um, and they don't label it, they don't make her wrong, they don't
Hmm.
dismiss her or minimize her. Because that's not containment, right? Like you're gonna put the flame out if you do
Yeah.
that way. Like containment is nurturing the flame and allowing it to exist without letting it burn everything down, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because there's a lot of women out there that are very traumatized or whatever, and they're scorched earth. They're going to burn everything down wherever they go
Hmm.
because they don't know how to do anything else.
Yep. So when you were talking about the containment piece, it went, so like the example that I have, I guess, of containment is when I think of my husband getting this new job. It came with like a pay increase, more hours, which then in turn for me allowed me to feel less of the financial stress and
Mm,
burden. And then we've had these conversations about, what if I have a cancellation, it's not my anxiety that's shooting up because then I'm thinking, well,
right.
God, I had a cancellation. Like I need to fill in this spot somewhere because this is the role that I've been placed into.
Mm,
And so it's not only that part of it, but also when, like today, I didn't have any scheduled appointments. There is no stress with that anymore either. And all I hear, so the other containment piece for men would be not only are you allowing, like Mandy had said, women to tap into that flexibility or like allowing us to have not this necessarily this 9 to 5 super structured, we can follow like our feminine frequency,
flow.
but
Yep.
yeah, but then to also nurture that because from my husband, then I hear when we're talking about like this summer, he has to work 3 weeks straight pretty much, which is when we usually go to Wisconsin. So he
Mm,
has said, well, why don't you just go for 3 weeks if I'm going to be working? And I was like, well, I need to work. And he said, why do you need to work if I am in this new job?
mm.
So then it's not just the fact that he would say that, that it's not a big deal, but to actually follow through with it. So that would be, I
Yeah,
think, a show for containment as well is,
absolutely.
um, and Chad will even ask me, like, he's asked me before, like, are you feeling less stressed because I'm working more? Yes. Are you feeling
Yeah.
less stressed? Because, like, then when we do the budget, he does not like doing the budget. He appeases me to
Yeah.
do the budget. But
Yeah.
he also knows that when we do that together and we can look at everything, I feel safe and secure, which allows me to then tap into that femininity. And then he
Hmm.
gets to be the provider and look at, oh, then he increases his masculinity, right? Because he's like,
Exactly.
I get to do this. And then we have this more, again, like we're not on that seesaw anymore. Like we're just on that plateau piece. So maybe that will help people better see what an example would
Yes, I
could
love
look
that.
like
Absolutely.
um for that feminine masculine piece.
Yes, because he's containing you and the family and all the
Mm-hmm.
responsibility, right? Like your your energy's extra. So you get to rest in your feminine, you get to
Mm-hmm.
be more flowing, you get to follow your intuition, you get
Yeah.
to, pour into yourself so that you're better, you're a better
Mm-hmm.
person when your family's around.
Well, I think for a lot of women, like safety and at least for me, safety and security. If I don't feel safe or secure financially, emotionally, whatever, for most of it, for me, it is financial, is because like if I have financial security, then I can um, continue to provide still. But if there's stress connected to that, then my feelings of safety and security completely shut down.
Yep.
Where to have him being like, okay, I've got it, allows that feeling of safety and security. And I think a lot of women are have lost that feeling of safety and security. Or when we look at, you know, if there's a lot of times when like women stay home or leave the workforce for a while, and then there's something happens in their relationship or there's like financial infidelity or abuse, then they have to go back into the workforce or realize that they don't have these things. Um, that's terrifying. And like
Yeah.
there is no level of safety and security with that when you are concerned about meeting your basic needs, such as covering, making sure you have a home and groceries to buy.
Hmm.
So I don't know if that's with your guys' thoughts on that, or like with like safety and security and that feminine and masculine balance, or
Yeah.
but
Well, we can't be feminine if we're not safe and secure because
yeah.
we're in survival mode. So
Mhm.
we're naturally going to be more masculine, right? Because you have to do to survive.
Mhm.
Kara, can you share like, oh, I heard the dogs. That's so funny.
He fought
They're
it.
snoring.
Oh, that was a snore.
Oh, good.
Cute.
He's
Yes.
Well,
sleeping.
your
Well,
hubby is so good at containment, right? Like
Hmm.
he's like a
yes.
textbook example of like supportive.
So, without divulging like too much information, I've been at like the extremes
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
support and not support. Um, being, safe, you can be safe, but without the ability or the spiritual safety to reach out and do different things. Because I've been on this journey, for a really long time. And there was a time where, I was kind of made fun of and whatnot. And so there's that extreme. And then you have
Right.
what I have now. And it's like gung ho. I'm here for you. Do what you need to do. If there's something weird I want to try, he'll build a pyramid in the backyard, like whatever,
Okay, let's do it. I need a copper one.
I do
Tell
too.
him
I
I
want a
need one of those
copper
big
one.
I
copper
know,
ones that I
right?
can
Wouldn't
sit
that be
inside.
amazing?
It's
Can he
gonna be
weld?
amazing. He's gonna make three.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay,
he can
well,
weld.
let's
He
go
won't
buy
admit
some
it to anybody,
copper.
but he can weld.
Okay, we're gonna go buy copper when we're this
Stop at
weekend.
Costco.
That would be
Yes.
awesome if they had that. That's so
Yeah, so
funny.
for the men out there listening, there's a huge difference when a
Mm,
woman feels spiritually safe, and that when you show up with your masculine and let us explore our feminine, you're going to get a
mhm.
whole lot more back
Yeah.
in
Oh my
more
God,
ways than one.
yes. Yes.
Yep. Versus the men that like, oh, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Why would? Because I have friends that their husbands talk to them like that, and I'm just like, oh, like you can't even express yourself. Like you can't even
Hmm.
say that you like this thing without being
Without
like
being judged.
or
Yeah.
demeaned.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to. That's crazy.
Yes.
Um, well, it's funny to me because I'm very into the woo woo and the spiritual side. And when I hear people dismiss the woo woo energy, I'm like, are you not paying attention? Because science is proving that all of this is real. Like, it's not
Hmm.
just woo woo. Like, it might feel woo woo to you because it's new, but there's science. Can you just look at the science? You guys are obsessed with the science. Can you just look at the science?
Yeah. You're gonna look at the science for this, but not this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't pick which scientific method you'll follow.
Yeah, so you're
No.
either gonna believe it or you're not. But
Yeah.
yes, with anything, look at both ends of things.
Hmm. Hmm. Mm, so good. Um, what
How,
is
ooh, go
go
ahead.
go go? No, you
Well, I was
go.
gonna ask, how can we as women allow men to be more balanced, to like to tap into that femininity,
Mm,
but still,
mm.
but also nurture the masculine because we've pulled that masculine away.
Yes.
And now I think
Um,
again, this big, huge pendulum shift of
mm,
like unconfident men or
yeah.
men with no or very few values, work ethic. And I was actually talking to a male client at the spa yesterday who owns a construction company. And he said, I can't find, like, people do not want to do hard work or they're just not. And he has all men. And he said, it's
Right.
just very frustrating that, some of them are in their 40s, some of them are in their 20s, but he said, no direction, no um gumption, no, like
Yeah.
I see what needs to be done, so I'm going to do it. It's very like he sees more of the they're just going to mess around until someone tells them what to do
Right.
type of a
Yep.
thing. What are
Again,
your guys' thoughts on that?
learned helplessness, but also like with all of these devices, we are throwing our hormones off. We
Mm.
are like we're getting cheap dopamine, right? Like we're getting all of these cheap hits of energy, and then we can't show up in our real life and do hard things. Like when I think about generations before me and how masculine they were, and like when you look at like pictures of like men from the 70s, or not even men, but like high schoolers from the 70s,
They're
they're
fucking huge.
jacked.
They
It's
have full
crazy the
beards.
difference.
Yes,
Crazy the
yes.
difference. Like how, I mean, we know that our food's being poisoned. We know that we're being poisoned from all these different avenues, and that's affecting testosterone levels and fertility.
Hmm.
And that's a bummer, right? But we just have to become aware so that we can fix it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
but
then
yeah,
just the
like,
huge issue with pornography too. And I think that will come up again. I think we actually have that in a
do we?
maybe. If
Yeah,
we
yeah,
don't,
yeah.
we'll
We
add it
should
in.
write it down, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're depleting the parts of ourselves that would be able to go out and do hard things when we're sitting on our couch, watching TV all day or playing
Hmm.
video games or whatever it is. They're all streaming now, right? Like they're all sitting on their
Right.
computers in front of a monitor for 8 hours a day streaming. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
Um, I had a point, but I can't remember what were we just talking about before this?
Like, how can we like nurture both sides of that? Like,
Yes.
tell our men, like, I would like this is something that's attractive to me that is more
Yeah.
masculine, and but then still nurturing that they need to be able to have time and space for their emotions and things like that.
Yes. So the thing that like the action that women can take and that we actually like it's a skill we all really need to learn how to wield is we need to learn how to communicate to men in a way that they can actually receive, in a way that inspires them versus like cuts them down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have observed that it's really hard for a lot of women to be honest with their spouses and
Mm.
tell them, like, actually tell them how they're really feeling. Instead, they just bypass it and stuff it down and think
Yep.
that it's going to solve itself. And it's like, no, you need to be able to bring stuff to your husband or whoever, partner, whatever, and express yourself without blaming them for how you feel.
Mm.
You need to own your own energy, be like, I'm feeling X, Y, and Z. How do we solve this, right? Like men are natural problem solvers. So if you can bring your feelings to them in a way where you're owning it and you're not blaming them or cutting them down, then they're inspired to take action and to fix the problem because that's their natural wiring. But how
Mm-hmm.
often do we be like, you're making me feel like this or you're doing
Mm.
this instead of I'm feeling.
So the I am statements for sure. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Um uh but also like men need to learn how to recognize their egos, and they need to learn how to use it for good, and then they need to, when someone's checking their ego, whether it be a woman or another man, they need to receive that because there's an appropriate time and a place for your ego, and then there's the time and the place where your ego's trespassing against me, and that's not going to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, yeah. The communication piece is huge for me. I feel like that is, if everyone could learn in this instant how to communicate in a feminine way, this world would be different in a day.
Right. Or like that nurturing or the problem solving type of a, yeah.
Yes. Yep. And men, I don't think men realize that they nurture. Maybe they do. Maybe some of them do. But like when you're going out to your job and your job gets to cover all the bills, like in your case,
Yeah.
Natasha, where yours is just extra, that is the most nurturing thing to you and your boys because now you have all this extra time with your family, right? Like you
Right.
get to pour into yourself, you get to pour into your kids, you get to do these classes or take on new skills
Mm-hmm.
or connect with people in a different way, in a deeper way. You get to be more of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like we sh What was the one?
along with the communication piece, you know,
Mm,
coming being able to go to your partner or friend or whatever is if they're predictable, if their actions and
Mm,
behaviors, every time I go to my man or my sisterhood, I know they're going to show up for me. And when you
hmm.
have that, that's so empowering.
oh my God,
And
yeah.
that gives you the opportunity to embellish your femininity.
Mm,
Would you consider that a masculine role from a male or a feminine role from a male?
Maybe both.
Okay.
yeah.
I was like, because we like to think like showing up for a lot of times means more feminine, right? But but when you think of a man showing up in a way, it's like, oh, that's fucking hot. Like,
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah.
why'd you have that shirt
That's
on? You showed up. Why did you gotta? What? Huh?
cute. Mm,
Interesting. Yes,
mhm.
that makes a lot of sense. Like, and that kind of taps back that safety and security piece too.
Yeah.
Like that basic, that root chakra, basic human needs being met.
Yes, yes. Well, like let's zoom way out and let's look at society and like the way that like our generations were like programmed to like reject feminine roles. Like I never learned how to cook because
I
I
only knew how
I
to cook hot dish. So you're
that's
fuck.
right.
My brother still won't fucking eat that shit. He's like, I'm not eating hot dish. That's all you ever made. I'm like, I was 10.
I love that. That's my favorite. It's so good. But like, you know, like the feminine roles, like
Well, that
cooking
goes
and
into a
cleaning.
whole. I feel like that goes into the topic of feminism in general. Like,
Mm.
I feel
Do
like
we
that can
have
be a
that?
whole. I'm gonna write down because I feel
Okay,
like
good deal.
that can be a whole
Yeah,
thing.
totally. But like, you know, taking care of your home or nurturing your home, setting it up where it looks nice, right? Like
Mhm.
how many it's like one of my favorite jokes of like dudes never have headboards until they get into a relationship, right? Like they just have a mattress on the floor
Yeah,
and it's like because they don't care about the creature comforts in the way that we do, but they
yeah.
want that, right? Like they might not do it for themselves, but when they get into a relationship and they have all these new like it's the best thing to them, right?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, let's talk like traditional roles, like the masculine and feminine, like when we look back to like the 50s, right? Like women
Hmm.
stayed at home, raised the children, kept the home, did the food, the cleaning, and men went out and worked. And now we've had to adjust to women entering the workforce. Um, so roles have shifted,
Hmm.
but we still have like our inner nature of like what we're drawn to do for each
Yep.
other, right?
I did add that one.
Okay,
I think that can
great.
be a whole nother.
Oh,
Both of
agreed.
these, I think, can
Agreed.
be whole nother topics. So,
Agreed.
what about that? We were talking about like nurturing, giving men space to be nurtured, like feminine. How do we encourage their masculinity if we're like,
Mm.
God, I really like, I can't just be like, oh, go down and chop down a tree and wrench on a car. Like, because that's like traditional masculinity, right?
Right.
That's what we're kind of looking for. That if we think of the primal end of us as people and beings,
Mm.
what does masculinity look like, and how can we nurture men to become more masculine again after society has, like you said in the very beginning, demasculinated them?
Hmm. Well, are you giving him room to be masculine? Are
Well, I
you
don't want to
doing
listen to burps and farts all day.
I don't think you have a choice, frog
Yeah.
fart.
Frog fart. Prince.
Um, because when I think like, so you know, when we look at men's hormone cycle,
Hmm.
their testosterone is highest right away in the morning, right?
Right.
And
When I'm
that's
sleepy.
why they're the friskiest then. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you know it'll drop as they work as they spend that testosterone, right? Then they
Hmm.
have a dip right around like 4 or 5. It just depends on the man, right? So like at that dip, are you giving him space? Are you giving
Mm,
him space to recharge and like
yep.
not nagging him about it? Like let him go do whatever he needs to do to reset so then he can come back and
Mm,
let that testosterone climb back up, right? Because I think a lot of people, I guess in my experience, when my dad would get home and like I could observe that his testosterone was low and
hmm.
he was just taxed.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then my mom's on his ass about doing X, Y, and Z. It's like, we'll just give him the space to reset and then ask or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know that women are really aware of that dip and the fact that
Mm,
like men need that time to recharge.
yep.
But also, are you letting him go be a man? Like, does he get to
Yeah.
go like hang out with the boys? Does he get to have hobbies
Right.
outside of the home or the relationship that foster that masculinity?
Hmm. So then in my question, how do you encourage that when you have a homebody like I do that is he's good to go to work and he's good to come home, doesn't doesn't want to go do anything with other people or because that's where I'm kind of getting at is like because I think I you hear the opposite on the spectrum too where there's women that are like my husband's never home. Like he gets home from work and then he's wanting to go play golf or go drink beer. And you know how many times I've tried to get my husband to go do something with a dude
Yeah.
in the last umpteen years?
Mm,
Like, is that a social? Is that something that we've done socially too?
I don't know.
Or is it all just pressure
That's
of,
a great question. But also another great point is like how women are so much better at having friendships than men.
mm-hmm,
Like men our age, they don't have friends or they do, but they're like far and few between and they don't spend a lot of time with each other.
yeah, yep.
Um yeah, that's like a whole other conversation.
Yeah, right. That definitely can be too. Because I always look at like him not really knowing what he would want to do or what
Right.
would be fun. So, but that's like an
Right.
identity issue too, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Like,
grow up in a situation where you're not allowed to have your own identity and you're not allowed to
right.
have your own likes, like you don't even get to like this is exactly what happened to me. I didn't even get to know what I like and don't like or like what I want to do and what I don't until like 6, 7, 8 years ago. I finally started to like figure it out and I stopped perpetuating the programming or
Mm,
like I stopped people pleasing and I stopped living my life for my parents' approval and I
mm-hmm.
started trying to figure out like what's important to me and what do I need to be myself.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So creating space for them to do those masculine things and having those outlets, but also allotting for that time. So being mindful of their 24-hour cycle
Mhm.
and kind of making accommodations or understanding to that
Right.
for sure. Okay.
Right. Um, Kara, what are some of the roles that your man fulfills? Like what are the masculine roles that are most prevalent to him?
Um, well, physically, he, and I don't mean that physically,
Why
Jesus.
not? Tell me
So
more.
if I have an idea, right, like I'll be like, oh my
Mm,
God, there's nowhere to put my books. What should I do? Like the next day, he will have configured an elaborate bookshelf, built it, put it up, and rearranged the house.
Bring him to my place.
I know, like he's a one in a million
Girl.
kind of guy, but like, and I never knew how to accept that. And to
right.
Mm,
now I'm like, oh my gosh, like if I say something, he'll try, like no matter what it
yeah.
is. And that brings such safety and
Hmm.
how he supports our family, like he's here. If we need to go on a road trip, he's like, I got this. And so
Yep.
he brings those kind of traditional masculine roles, but he's also in the kitchen with me cooking.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
after
Yep.
supper, he's doing the dishes. Like it's not, me doing everything, and he's so supportive in those ways.
Hmm.
And then
Yep.
it goes back to my spirituality and everything that I'm going through in this great awakening, and he's on board. Like he understands kind of, when I want to astral dream, like, or work on that gift because I don't
Yeah.
know how to do it. I'm trying it, and he's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'll be here for you."
Mm,
So just having that support is just
Hmm.
masculine in and of
yep.
itself,
Yep.
innately.
Right.
But yet he does
Absolutely.
all the physical things too. So
Yeah.
it's really something that I've always admired about him, because I've never had like a feminine, not feminine man, but
Like
intuitive man. Does that
nurturing.
sound better? Yeah, nurturing man. And
A
so,
well-balanced man,
Mm.
a
yes, it's always,
well-developed.
yes. And I think we're going through that journey together because
Yes. Yes.
things that I've said or done have kind of awakened or tickled pieces in him, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the most healing things for me personally is watching both of you in
Mm.
relationship with your men. Even get like Natasha, one of my favorite things is coming to your house and sitting around the kitchen table and just
Yeah.
talking about anything. And Chad is just fully on board and he's putting in his 2 cents. And my favorite thing about masculine energy is when they check you a little bit, when they're like push back a little bit. Because like
Hmm.
I'm an analyzer,
A
so
little bit,
like
but not too. Don't
Yeah,
let
no,
don't
that
we
say
girl
don't.
not
ID
There's
you.
too
an
much.
appropriate there's an appropriate amount for sure.
Small doses, boo.
Well, because they're more naturally skeptical, right? Like they're
Right.
very black and white, very logic and reason, and that's great, right? Like we need checks and balances. Like there's a divine design to this. There's a reason that we balance each other so well.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Whoever marries you is gonna fucking have to work really hard. Just saying, because you have been given some high standards, right?
Ooh, yeah. I have
And Karen and I are gonna be like, "What the fuck is this guy up to?" Nope.
yeah, you're gonna
Swipe,
have
swipe,
to
swipe,
you're
swipe,
gonna
swipe.
mhm. You're gonna have to grill him a little bit
Chad
whenever
and
he
Les can be like the interviewers.
yeah, yeah, yes.
Right.
Oh
They're
well,
the keepers.
that's actually a great way to view masculine roles, right? Because like
Hmm.
in that space, like I've done a lot of research on like there's a lot of men out there that are like coaching women on how to attract a masculine man. So I've like dug into that a little bit, right? Because that's what I want. And oh, I just got pulled out. What was my point? Crap.
Well, we were talking about, like, I think maybe even just looking
Oh,
at accountability and responsibility
well,
from
like,
men to other men.
yes, checking, like, I don't, how do I say this without offending anybody?
Just offend them.
Um, or like traditionally, your father is the one that builds you up and sets you up to bring in a masculine man, right? Like he's going to be a great example of masculinity, so then
Hmm.
you're going to have eyes to see when that masculine is healthy, right? I didn't have that. Um but I've learned like I know what's not masculine, right? Like I know what's like wounded masculine and
Mm.
energy that I will not tolerate. Um but like when I think to traditional masculine roles, like you know how like they have to like ask your dad for their permission for your hand in marriage, right? Like that's really beautiful because it's like, do I approve of you for
Hmm.
my daughter? Like,
Showing value. So
exactly.
then that you have a value. You as a female have a value.
Yes. And like I know, like I'm so excited for whenever I meet this person and I get to bring him home to Josh and I get to like let him and Josh just go do guy things and then I get to like hear from Josh how like what do
Yeah.
you think? Like did I do a good job? 'Cause like he's always been a sounding board for me there of like When I had a bad picker in high school, he was like, "What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
don't do that." And I didn't listen, but it meant more than I could ever put into words that he did
Hmm.
that for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's a traditional masculine role, right? Of
Mhm.
men being able to advise women on like
Well, it's the protection piece again.
Mhm.
I'm going to protect you from this person, or I might have to protect you from yourself because you're not seeing what I can see for you. And I'm just going to need you to
yes.
trust me.
Yes, and that's a huge part of containment is protecting us from ourselves because we can get so worked up so easily and just spiral and go into
Hmm.
anxiety and fear and all of the things. And that's the whole point of masculine containment is to be that anchor
Mm.
and that steady point and be like, I understand you're feeling this way, but I've got you. And whatever happens, like we're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
Hmm.
Mm, cute.
Awesome.
What time did we start? How long have we been going? Do you know?
I can't see anything.
Okay, I don't remember what time we started, but we probably could just have some finishing thoughts and
Yeah.
wrap it up. Do you guys feel like we covered masculine versus feminine roles well, or did we miss anything?
I think it's something that's so big
You're right.
that
Mhm.
we could throw this one back into the jar and
I
pull
think
it
you
for the
should.
next one.
Yep.
And we would be able to go in completely different. So though I did make some of them more specific,
Oh,
though,
love
too,
that. Good,
like
good.
um, feminism, conflicts and confusion, and how it affects men and women.
Love it.
And then what was the other one? Traditional masculine, feminine roles. And I did write 1950s, and then pornography and the imbalance of
Great.
men and women.
Great, great, great.
And now I put that one back in there.
Cute. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's just end on a good note. Let's
Yes.
go back to what's your favorite feminine role? Like besides what we said before.
Yeah.
Like what are the things that make you feel most feminine? Um,
Oh, I got one.
go, go.
Dresses. Seriously, just
Yes.
wearing dresses. Um, I don't know what it is about that, but it's just
Yep.
that. I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know what it is.
Agreed. I just started doing that a number of years ago, and I agree.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to
All
wear
summer
anything
long.
else. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to wear pants. I don't want to wear jeans.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I love that.
I
Tara.
love bringing the inner queen in me out. So hair and
Ooh.
makeup, even though it
Yes.
doesn't show that right now. But that's something, and not like egotistic wise, but it's
Right.
something I like to do. If you're going to take care of this meat sack, maybe it'll hang around a little longer.
Yes. Yep.
Exactly. Exactly. And we
That
can shift.
confidence piece.
Yes. Well,
Mhm.
that's like, I feel like the healthy ego, where like when you look and feel good, you bring such a better
Right.
energy wherever you go with whatever you
Yep.
do.
Yeah, it's just an
Yeah.
energetic powerhouse.
Yes.
Yes.
Inside and out.
Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Love, love.
Um, I'm just gonna repeat because intuition was the best answer, right? Like
Yeah.
I truly believe that's the seat of our femininity and where we're supposed to spend a lot of our energy. Not all of it,
Mhm.
right? Because we need to be balanced, but like the amount of downloads I have received in the last 6 years because I'm able to be in my femininity, in my intuition, in my flow. I mean, my life couldn't be more different than it was
Hmm.
Yeah.
6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's absolutely beautiful, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a good place to end. Good job,
Whoop, whoop.
everybody. That was fun. Okay, we'll see you next time.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.